Dawson's Creek has taken Australia by storm. Now, you must get the soundtrack album to this year's hit TV series. 15 tracks including the smash hit Kiss Me from Sixpence None the Richer. And Sean Mullen's hot new single, Shimmer.
The shimmer is born to shine.
Get the album from the show everyone is talking about.
Kiss me.
Songs from Dawson's Creek.
Welcome, you're watching the thrift store rundown of bringing Hollywood home on a budget. In our ongoing quest to find the sounds of summer, I think we're about to reach a medium-high note with Dawson's Creek. And why medium-high? Because I ain't putting Dawson's Creek on a pedestal until I go to Netflix and figure out if it's really worth all the hype then and now. But, if you want to know, right now, what will it be like to listen to songs from Dawson's Creek, which I picked up for $1.49, the first of 2 public soundtrack albums? Well, I have to say, it's a pretty good throwback to the summer of '99. I was just like less than a year old when Dawson's Creek began growing in popularity, so much so that it actually had to have its own soundtrack album. That's how you know that creator Kevin Williamson and music supervisor John McCulloch had good taste. So, if I was to choose between working a prison chain gang and having to listen to songs from Dawson's Creek non-stop for 2 hours, actually 1 hour, that's the running time for this, I would choose listening to this. It's less punishing. Okay, in all seriousness, this is actually a pretty great album, and there are 14 reasons why. And why 14? Well, compared to Netflix's 13 Reasons Why, Dawson's Creek, one of the pioneers of coming-of-age teen dramas, went one step beyond. The 5 tracks I listened to form the basis of this review are the theme song, I Don't Want to Wait by Paula Cole, which actually holds a dual meaning if you listen to it in full and look up the lyrics. Trimmed just right, it actually does sound like a typical coming-of-age teen drama. However, listened to in full, it still sounds the same, but it actually is told through the viewpoint of a familial aftermath of war. Hey, the War of 44 is one of the lyrics in her song, which, by the way, was re-recorded in 2021 for Netflix to reinstate as the Dawson's Creek theme. Beforehand, they didn't own the rights to use this, so they had to utilize Jan Arden's original theme, Run Like Mad, which I haven't listened to yet, so I really can't review that to figure out if these two are comparable to each other, if at all they are. But, I don't know why they placed it as the last track. It should have been the first. But, I guess they wanted to open it up with a bang. And so they did. The #1 song in America, Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer. Up until this point, it was indelible only in my mind to Seize All That, which admittedly I haven't seen. But I have used this before on a previous episode of the Romero Roundup here on TSR, where one of David's cousins decides to draw a portrait of David to make him more popular with the ladies, to no avail. And vice versa, it was equally as horrendously, hilariously disastrous. It was very Seize All That-esque, I had to use it. Thank goodness nobody struck it down. So I listened to those 2 songs, and the other 3, Chantal Quahog Feels Like Home, which, believe it or not, was written by Academy and Emmy and Grammy Award winner Randy Newman. Yes, the same Randy Newman who has recently made a second living scoring Pixar movies, and winning 2 Oscars for writing Pixar songs. Toy Story and Monsters, Inc. Anyone? Shooter with Life's a Bitch, which is track number 4. It's a very fun track. And Sean Mullen's Shimmer. So those are the 5 songs I listened to form the basis of this review, and we had some feedback issues with Feels Like Home towards the final chorus. But for the most part, it was an inoffensive listening experience, and that's coming from somebody who's not a Dawson's Creek fan, but is giving this an earnest, good, clean shot. You'll recall that I've reviewed and purchased the first season of Dawson's Creek on DVD, and you might be asking, if you're not a Dawson's Creek fan, why on earth would you do that? Bragging rights. The stuff I buy for YouTube, huh? Anyway, Opening up the album's liner notes, we have a collage of stills from the show. The castmates Katie Holmes, Joshua Jackson, James Vanderbeek, Michelle Williams, etc. A complete listing of all the songs in here, all 14 of them. And yes, Feels Like Home, which is a bittersweet ballad, was written by Randy Newman. We have a mixture of pop rock, folk rock, and bittersweet ballads in here. A couple of bittersweet ballads, but for the most part, it's all preppy, peppy, upbeat. It's actually kind of sophisticated compared to other teen drama soundtracks out there, because this show was so more upfront and frank, if you will, compared to others. That was the work of Kevin Williamson. I know, it's kind of stupid to make a big deal out of a simple teen drama soundtrack, but the legacy of Dawson's Creek is carried into history by the fans who were there to watch it and fangirl over it. Fangirl over Katie Holmes, James Vanderbeek, Joshua Jackson, Michelle Williams, etc. So, as for those 5 songs, let me rank them in top 5 order. I say number 1, the song that carries a dual meaning, Paula Cole's I Don't Wanna Wait. Number 2, Kiss Me by Sixpence None the Richer. 3, Feels Like Home by Quahog Creek Music. Number 4, Shooter Life's a Bitch. And 5, Sean Mullins' Shimmer. That's my top 5 ranking. And again, this is one of 2 songs from Dawson's Creek albums that you can find at a thrift store now, or maybe you can just download it on whichever music streaming service that you have. iTunes, Spotify, wherever. There are 2 other Dawson's Creek soundtracks that you can't really find on the market, and one's more difficult to find online than the other. They are mostly score-based soundtracks from composer Adam Fields. One of them including an alternate version of I Don't Wanna Wait by Paula Cole. So that's it. 4.5 out of 5 claps. You know, if the legacy of this show is to stay alive, then you gotta see the love in every fan's eye. If I may make an addendum to that, you also probably should owe it to yourself to check out the type of summer love that this album's gonna provide for your ears. That's all for tonight. We wish you a wonderful summer and hope that your plans don't go up a creek. But if they do, and you happen to travel up the creek with them, say hi to Katie Holmes for me. Thanks for tuning in.
I'm gonna be famous.
Dude, let me tell you something. There is nothing that'll ever happen in the rest of our lives that's as important as what's going on right here, right now in high school by these lockers.
I've got so many problems.
Hey, nothing that can't be fixed by staring at a lake.
When the tide comes in, it's an ocean side. It's an ocean side. Sun and moon alert. Sun and moon alert. Bind us here together. When the tide is high, life is washed ashore. Leaves you wanting more. The day repeats the day before. Everything's pulled, it's gravitational. Everything's forced, it's centrifugal. You and I are bound together by a force. The earth is spinning on its course, and everybody is looking for.
Thanks for watching TSR. Now, to see another awesome review like this one, click here. If you want to become a Hollywood bargain hunter, click here to subscribe. And I'll catch you on the thrift side.